Dance must be love. Hey. I'm not sure how this live stream may have started, I'll be honest, because I have been used to clicking a go live button. So who knows, if I was singing some Michael Jackson to begin this, then that's what was happening. But it is Tuesday. It is 7 o'clock. Jumping on and doing an Ask Me Anything session. I realised there has really not been a lot of content on the channel. I took the entire weekend off, which was really, really nice. Just to do something for me. And today has been strangely, it's been an admin day. And I was just noodling with some tracks and ideas just after setting up for this live stream. So if you're online, feel free to fire questions in the chat and say hi. We will connect. And if you're watching this later, then obviously there is a link below the video if you want to send me a note or a question, whether it's to do with looping vocals, guitar, improv, whatever. Feel free to fire anything through that you would like to chat or like my insight on it. And I'm gonna repeat every now and then I bring this up, but yes, it's literally just my opinion and my thoughts on things. There will be other people that will have opposing opinions and thoughts and ideas. There are people way more skilled and qualified in many, many different areas than myself to talk on these topics. So anything that comes up, then it really is just, if I have something I feel I can contribute, then I will. And if not, then I'll probably say so as well, that, you know what, I just don't know about that. So, hey George, how's it going, brother? Nice to see you here. Yeah, I'm curious if you were there from the start. Was I singing Michael Jackson right at the start? I hit the start streaming and we literally started streaming. So, I'm not sure if that happened or not. But, yeah, I realized this was a track, Rock With You, Michael Jackson, that I wanted to put together for a while, and I actually started playing it for a while back when, believe it or not, back when I was doing live shows, which is December, November, October, September last year. That's wild. And yeah, it would have been probably the last time I played that for a live show. But yeah, definitely needs to get added to the list, and I have a few. I'm guilty of this. I expect a bunch of us are, but I'm guilty of learning a few songs that I haven't quite learnt them to cement them into my repertoire. But I've played them a couple of times to kind of get a feel and see how things might work. And I realized tonight, just jamming through it, I was like, my initial looping concept for Rock With You with MJ was just to put down a really nice tight groove and kick on the OC3, so I've got the octave there, and play with that. And I suddenly realized tonight, I went, what happens if I loop the chorus and put in all those harmonies? Because there's all the, basically there's the, I wanna rock with you all night, all those parts. I was like, that would be cool if they came in with harmonies, if I looped. It'd be a bit of time building up a loop, but I think it would be cool. I was also thinking the key change, I could just set up a patch on the RC300. Yes, I'm still using the RC300. For those that are curious, I could set up a patch and just have the transpose on those harmonies and a chorus loop. And it could be cool to experiment, but I realized I never learnt the bass line at all. I have no idea how it goes. I was just listening to the track again, and it's so nice to go back and revisit things. Listen to the just the hi-hats, the difference between the intro and the chorus and the verses, where it just chills out. And seeing some of those little intricacies that, I'll be honest, I tend to forget when I'm looping how many nice subtle changes there are to different parts. So yep, if you're on, feel free to say hi. Tuesdays are back. I will be honest, a little bit unprepared for tonight, which the thought goes through my mind, like, should I just can it and not do the AMA session because I didn't plan a specific topic for tonight. And I'm like, no, you know what? I want to turn up every week. If you're here, awesome. If you're not, no worries. I will just disappear again. But yeah, I want to make this just, I'm around, whether it's a very chilled, just me talking and chatting to camera, or whether there's a bunch of you that jump on any different week and are like, hey man, could you do a cover of this or a breakdown of this or that sort of thing? Whatever it might be, feel free to ask me again, either in the chat or in just in comments, if you're watching this later on. But yeah, maybe we'll for the moment, seeing as I'm just been diving into Rock With You by MJ, just share some thoughts. As I say, I started out purely just looping a groove and then having the guitar and octave together. David, hi, how's it going? From Tucson, Arizona. Nice, I'm glad you made it along. Yeah, feel free, if you've got any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm just literally walking through, really, just sharing my thoughts at the moment, which will change. But yeah, I loop arrangement of Rock With You by MJ. I worked out an arrangement of the guitar parts, but I never learnt the actual bass part, and so tonight was the first time listening to it again and thinking, it would be really nice to have the option, right? I can just loop a groove and get in and play the song. Cool. We're straight into it. That's a really nice option to have. I think it will be a really nice option and a good learning, good challenge for me to loop the chorus and loop and put in those nice harmonies for the essentially the backing vocals for the chorus. I think that'll be fun. So that's kind of how I learn. Things evolve, and as they do for all of us. But I'm curious if you're on as well. Have you got any songs that you are looping that you have not listened to the original? You've created an arrangement, you've created a loop song, and you have not listened to the original in 6 months, a year. Let's say a year or more. Mark, welcome along. Nice to see your message. Nice to see you, brother. George, just in Utah. Yeah, I like it. I need to work on my US geography. True story. David, do you have any negatives about the Boss 600 looper? So, I'm not sure if you're aware, some people are, some people aren't. I do not have the Boss RC 600. I know I did some videos on it. I'm very excited about it, the fact that it's out. It's really cool seeing a lot of people now have it, and there do appear to be some genuine glitches and issues with the RC 600. That's to be expected. So there are some, whether it's firmware, software, a few little interesting things. But the main thing I've seen is a bunch of people that either expected it to work the same as the RC300. So that's frustrating. You're expecting it to do the same thing, but actually it's a different loop pedal. It doesn't function the same, and there's a learning curve, which is part of the reason I haven't I didn't do the pre-order and just like, oh my gosh, I need to get it now. Obviously I'm really happy with the RC300, and I will look forward to using the RC600 at some point, but I'm also aware that there's a learning curve, and it's gonna take a lot of time to program, learn, understand a new loop pedal, especially with how much that's gone into it. And this is what happens with the Voice Live 3 as well. A bunch of people got the Voice Live 3 and went, I want to go and gig like tonight. And because there's so much packed into the pedal, it's like, you're going to have lots of weird things happen if you go out and gig that first day. So, it's I think it's pretty awesome. As I say, there have been a few little glitches. Hopefully they'll get sorted out with another update as more people use it, and Boss gets a whole lot of feedback, obviously, on those. But then there's a bunch of people that are like, man, this is cool. It's great. The audio quality is cool. I think the biggest thing I've noticed is for a lot of people it is just that learning curve, realizing that it is a new pedal. In some ways, I think for a lot of people it will be easier to go to the RC600 if you've been using, let's say, a Voice Live 3 or the Headrush or Infinity Looper, some of the different loopers, because you're not expecting it to be the same. It's a different brand, it's a different product, so you're coming with maybe a bit more of a fresh mind to just be like, how do I work this thing? What does it do? So I hope that's my thoughts on it at the moment. As I say, I don't have one. I follow a lot of the forums, a lot of the comments and things like that, and again, I found this with the Voice Live 3 as well. A bunch of the complaints at times, or frustration, not complaints but frustration, are often in the manual. It takes some reading, it takes some time, and we get frustrated. I'm the same. We get frustrated because I expected it to do a certain thing, and it hasn't. And I've had to go and read a manual and be like, oh, okay. But that's just, it's going to take quite a bit of learning time. There's a lot in the pedal. And so that's the biggest thing I've seen. Mark, songs that I found too hard a few years ago have been easier to do now. Awesome. That's very cool. So revisiting previous attempts is a good thing. Yes. Guitar 12220. Ayo! Sir, how are you doing? All fine. I am doing very well, thank you. I appreciate you asking. Things are good. Obviously, there's just a lot going on in the world, and just to be honest, I've been sidetracked by a lot of that as well myself. And really, over the weekend, if you were on earlier, I just said I took some time out for me. I went away. I didn't take a camera. I didn't take my laptop. I didn't take anything that normally I would think I might do a little bit of cheeky work. No loop pedal. I took a guitar, of course, and I had some beautiful coffee mornings sitting by the beach, playing guitar, playing music, which I always enjoy. And but I realized as well that my focus coming up will be back on sharing what I enjoy and what I feel is maybe, I guess, my best contribution to the planet, which is recording some songs, having some people have some smiles, have some laughs, express some emotion with some of the sadder songs as well. I think it's all very healthy. It's the gift of music, both ends of the spectrum of a whole lot of joy, and also being able to release sadness or anger or frustration as well through music. So I will be back creating and back doing these sessions, saying hi, and somewhere along the way I'm sure we'll dive into things with the 600, but for the moment, I am leaving that slightly to the side. I haven't purchased one. I believe stock was due to arrive in New Zealand yesterday. Yesterday? That was the date anyway, which was a Sunday, which wouldn't wouldn't actually have turned up. So possibly today. But there's a couple of loop artists in New Zealand that have the RC600. So if you want to go and check out, and I wonder if I can copy Andy's. Just give me a moment. We'll copy Andy's link for you. And in fact, I am going to copy for you even a link to to him talking about the Boss RC600. If I figure out how to do this. There we go. Alright, so there you go. There's, for those that are curious, there is one of our very own Kiwi loopers, Andy Gartrell, talking about the RC600. He's got a bunch. He's been putting out a bit more content as well, which is cool. He's got a bunch of great loops and some videos starting to go up. So if you want to dive in and check him out, then please do. Mark, have had the VL3X for a long time, still learning things every week. Yeah, that's one that makes me smile too, because obviously I've done a bunch of videos with the Voice Live 3, and I still get a bunch of comments. A bunch of people are still picking them up and being like, how do I get started? What do I do? And I had a question the other day that I was like, what is actually the answer to this? Is there a simple solution? So yep, played around and reminded myself of a few little options. But yeah, look, if there's any for those of you that are on, if you've got any questions that have been on your mind, feel free to shout out. Today is very much a very relaxed Ask Me Anything session. There's no specific topic. There's no right or wrong. So if you've got any questions, feel free to let me know. And other than that, I will be back on the channel with some editing, some arrangements, some loop tunes, and for those of you that have joined me on Twitch, then I've been doing a few little shows on there as well. So feel free to fire in the chat, or if you just want to share what you're up to in terms of your own guitar playing, whether guitar, piano, music, that'd be cool too. Nice for me to hear what everyone's up to. Mark, I did a loop to Overkill. Hadn't heard the original for a few months. It had been a request, so I did it. Then weeks later, listened to Colin doing, man, I did it wrong. Oh, that's funny. I laugh because various songs that I've done have come out of requests at venues, and chatting with a friend that was performing this weekend, we were laughing and saying how cool it is when it's like, so to give context, he was doing a show, he forgot some lyrics, and I was in the audience, and he was like, well, just like, yeah, sorry, I forgot, like, and this lady next to me loved it. She was just like, oh, it's so good, like, just like she really enjoyed that moment, and not in a nasty way, but it was just like an acknowledgement of this dude that's up there performing, entertaining people, having a fun time, is also just another human that's like, sorry, I've just gone blank. So it intrigues me a lot of times that we do different arrangements, or sometimes we have a go, whether it's a request or just our own curiosity. It's like, yep, cool. And then, yeah, I like that. Then listen to the original and like, oh, Okay, that's very different. I love it. Nice. Right, if there's any questions, feel free to let me know. Just put something in the chat. I hope you're all doing amazingly well, and life is good. You're doing some shows and making music, having fun, learning some stuff. Yeah. It's nice to be back. It's nice to be back on the channel and just honestly turning up and having a yarn and saying hi. I have been putting off some of these Ask Me Anything sessions simply because I haven't been putting out a lot of content on the channel, and like all of us, sometimes showing up and being like, I don't actually know what I'm going to talk about is like that awkward little feeling. So any questions, put them in the chat, or if you just want to share what you've been up to and say hi and have a bit of a yarn, let's do that as well. Which is the hardest guitar lick for you? Great question. Hardest guitar lick. Just so many of these I feel change from time to time, because if there's something I want to learn, it usually starts off, some things, if we've done something similar before, will come easy to us. Some things that will come easy to me will be hard to the next person, and something that to them is easy because it's a skill they've practiced will be hard for me. So I don't know what that question. There's an old lick that I really liked, that came from a Jerry Reed song that I remember at the time. I was like, this is so difficult, which is a... So there you go. There's my difficult lick of the day. Based around a little A major chord. It's what's the song from? It's from a song called The Claw, which I started to learn. I never really learned, but I find that lick quite useful for some little bluesy stuff. It just weaves really nicely. It's kind of, if you like, goes from A to, you could call that a B7, D, where I'm not actually particularly wonderfully in tune, and then just a little a sneaky semitone slide back into A. Yeah, cool little I remember being struggling with it a lot. So there you go. Maybe that answers the question. Little fun one. Fingerstyle is very hard for me. My fingers give up. I like it. I started out, some of you know, I did not use a pick at all when I started out. So everything, even lead lines that were played, solos and stuff like that, I was using fingers for everything. And I actually had to train myself ages later to start using a pick. I just that was more uncomfortable for me. So yeah, interesting what we all start with, and probably that kind of echoes a little bit about what you're saying of like what's the hardest lick. If you haven't done a lot of fingerstyle, that will probably be a hard lick. If you're not used to using a pick, then certain combinations or string crossing or things like that will be a hard combination. So yeah, look, if anyone's got any other little questions or thoughts or queries, fire them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll wrap up, and I will look forward to releasing and sharing a few little videos that are hiding in the background. But as always, feel free to reach out. There's a link below all of these Ask Me Anything sessions that goes to my website, which will send me a note if you think of something during the week, or you've got something on your brain that you want to check, connect, ask. I don't have all the answers, sorry, but I will do my best where I can to get back to you, or at least open up discussion around some of these things, so that maybe there's some ideas, whether they come from me, whether they come from someone else in the chat. Then then that can be a great way as well, just the community and connection. Guitar 12220. I've learnt canon in D, but the sound produced is very low. Give me some tips to increase the sound. Are you talking in terms of fingerstyle, or is that what we're saying? Your question reminds me of I do not remember the exercise, but I had one guitar student that I was teaching, and he played at a very low fingerstyle. Okay, cool. He played at a very low, a very soft volume, and I without an amp. Yeah, cool. I actually got him to play again, totally an exercise. But I was like, play as loud as you can. It's going to sound bad. It's intentionally going to sound bad. I want you to really dig in. Because you want to train yourself to, now you've got a range here compared to soft. And by pushing yourself to do something awkward at a silly volume, and really dig in and get those strings moving, it increases the range available that you've got. But it's going to sound bad. It should sound bad. You're pushing yourself to do more volume than you will want, and just in the process, you're going to find you've got a nice range. You can dig in where you want a little bit more, or you can still play softly as well. So there's a little thing to play with. And just play the same piece. Play the canon, but just play it obnoxiously loud that your strings might rattle and buzz, and that's a good thing for practice. And then you're gonna have a bigger range when you play, to actually consciously make the choice of how loud you want to be. Marty, hey David, I tried your vocal warm-ups before band practice on Sunday. Sung solidly for almost 3 hours, and my voice felt great the whole time. Best session yet. Brother, that's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Thanks, mate. Now my new warm-up routine. I love it. I'm genuinely, those kind of messages where people have some wins, where you've had a win, brother, is it makes me so happy, and I'm really glad you got something out of it. It's awesome. I tried to play loud, and my high E hit me hard. Yeah. So sometimes we've got to make things awkward for ourselves. It feels outside of our comfort zone. That's great. It can sound bad. It can be outside of the comfort zone. A little bit the same with singing. Letting ourselves sound bad and do some awkward stuff is actually a really healthy way to expand or get an idea of what might be possible. So yeah. But thanks everybody for tuning in. We are gonna wrap up, but I will be back on every Tuesday. It's happening. It's a thing. So if you've got questions, either jump online if you happen to be on 7 p.m. New Zealand time on a Tuesday, or drop me a note during the week, and we'll connect as well. So yeah, appreciate all the comments and details, and we'll connect in. I will be putting out a few videos as well, so you'll see a bit more action happening on the channel. And thanks to everyone that dropped by. Appreciate you all. Happy playing, happy practicing. We will see you next time around. Cheers, David. Cheers, Mark. I'd like to see more of your live shows. Yep, they'll happen at some point. Not a huge lot on the radar at the moment with all that's going on, but the video side of things will be where it is, where it's at for the moment. So we'll get to connect and share some stuff. Cheers, everybody.